What up, folks? Blake Terrence here, and welcome to a new edition of the Calling It How I See It podcast. We're going to start up a new playlist on the YouTube channel or the Spotify channel, wherever you follow us. Might start doing this one live at some point as well, but the Calling It How I See It reactions, where we'll react eventually, hopefully, to some, TV shows and things like that for you. But we're going to start off with some of the Reddit posts and the trends that you see on there, because those are always good podcast content. They're great scenarios for you to think about, and honestly, they're going to be a lot of fun because these get pretty crazy, goofy. So, happy to be joined by my girlfriend Serena, who helps produce the sports podcast Behind the Scenes. How well do you think this is going to go?
I'm super excited. I have 6 different stories picked out for us. uh, And I was just thinking about maybe asking you, like giving you 2 different stories and you choose which one seems more intriguing to you. And then we'll deliberate and go through the comments and just kind of see what the consensus is here.
You're wanting my opinion
Yeah.
on which one to start with. Why don't you
Yes.
why don't
Yeah.
you why don't you run through it for the audience's sake? Like, quickly run through them, and then I'll make my decision.
Okay. Well, yeah. So I'm just going to read you 2 different titles of each, and then you tell me what full story we should talk about.
Sounds good.
Okay. So I'm picking like probably the top 2 that are going to like I don't think they're necessarily going to hit home, but they might enrage you just a little bit.
Okay. We
Okay.
like being enraged early in the day,
Yeah,
relatively early.
it's 1:38 in the afternoon. It's time to feel absolute rage.
You can't even start
Okay.
drinking for another 4 hours.
I mean, you got a little bit of time. It'll be okay. Okay, so the first one is my girlfriend and I have never had sex, and it's been almost 5 years. Am I the asshole?
That's supposed to enrage me.
I feel like you would be upset. Maybe I'm wrong. You wouldn't. Okay, and then am I the asshole for wanting to leave my wife after the birth of our baby?
If that's all I knew, probably. I would hope there's more to know, but yeah, probably. I
Okay,
let's
so which story?
let's know more about that one first, I guess, because that's not enough information, but it doesn't sound good.
It's giving bad. It is
Yeah.
giving not a good time.
It's
Okay.
not enough information on its own, but it's not a good way to
No.
start.
No, 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 no. I couldn't agree more. Okay. So this one is obviously coming from the r/ am I the asshole here. So, am I the asshole for wanting to leave my wife after the birth of our baby? My 34 male wife, 32 female, and I have been married for 7 years. After a miscarriage, she admitted to me that she had multiple affairs over the last 4 years of our marriage. Her last affair ended a year ago. She begged first to go to therapy to work on our marriage, but I refused to go. During the time I had moved out of the house, occasionally I would go back to take care of the house and animals, and she would constantly try to manipulate me into coming back. I had every intention of getting a divorce, but the process is slow. I hated the betrayal, but I also missed my wife during the separation. One thing led to another. We had sex. She got pregnant again. Shortly after the news came, I had to leave for work about 12 hours away from her. She would call to give me updates about the pregnancy and talk about our marriage. We were separated for a majority of her pregnancy. I told her that I still wanted, but I would consider reconciling after the baby was born. After several months away from her, I came to the realization that I could not trust her, nor could I forgive her for her infidelity. I feel like the last 7 years of my life has been a lie. While I was away from her, I met someone, and a relationship blossomed between us. I truly feel like I love this woman. She has been made aware that I'm still married and that I have a baby on the way. My wife is not aware of my new girlfriend. Fast forward to a month ago, I had to go home for the birth of our baby boy. My wife has been pressuring me to reconcile, but I told her that I plan to divorce her again. After the birth of our baby boy, She has been blaming me for ruining our family because I don't want to stay with her and try to fix our marriage. I want I want to have a co-parenting relationship with my wife, but she's acting very erratic while I am here for her son. Am I the asshole for wanting to leave my wife? And they do ask for advice at the end of the post. So that's the skinny. How are you feeling after listening to that story?
I don't know if there is one singular the asshole. I think there's just a bunch of assholes. That's all I like.
I would
There,
agree.
there's just like there's justified hurt feelings and stuff on every side, and then there's also like what in the Sam hell possesses you behavior from everybody. I'm not gonna like boy. We don't have sex with someone we plan to divorce. I didn't know that was a law, but apparently it should be.
Yeah,
And we don't fall in love with somebody else while separated from someone we're still married to.
I would agree. I would
Meeting
agree.
somebody is one thing.
That is truly because you don't know where it's going to go. You got to fix a broken heart. The easiest
Yeah,
way to fix a broken heart is to find a little something else. So, I mean, I would agree with that.
and that's not even getting into the baby stuff. But then we don't we don't hide affairs, lady.
Yeah. Okay. So
So
when
I
I
don't know
first
what
read
to
this, when I first read this, that was my immediate reaction. It's just like, this man has been betrayed for 4 years.
7. Didn't I thought he said 7.
Well, they've been together for 7 years, but she
The
admitted to
affairs,
having
I gotcha.
affairs for 4 years.
That's right. That's right.
So, and likely the prior 3 years to the last 4 years of being cheated on,
I bet you know what? I think those were great, perfectly healthy marriage years. And then I think
potentially
and then I think she didn't know how sensitive she was to some sort of tea and she just went nuts. That's what I think happened. I think she was perfectly healthy and normal for 3 years and then just kind of,
went off the
had some
deep end.
yeah, just had some steam to blow off.
It sounds like it.
She had some
Now,
steam to blow off and went nuts and just whoo.
yeah, multiple affairs over 4 years, it does sound like a very busy time, which, I mean, God bless. Now, okay, so we're gonna kind of get into like the comments and then we do have a few updates on the post, which I do think is
Sure, yeah, yeah.
that's the part
And
that
by the
I
way,
always love.
these are reading comments off Reddit for the audience. It's like there is no
Yes.
live audience to this yet, unfortunately. That would be awesome if
No,
people were commenting, watching us say these things. Maybe we'll get there. But
that could be fun for sure. I would agree.
anyway, so we're reading some of the comments under the post, which is always a good, healthy way to process information. I'm hoping we're just reacting. We're not doing this to help us think through it. Please don't ever do that.
Oh my
Anyway,
God. Yeah, I love to get all of my main life advice from Reddit, and that's the only source I use.
it's specifically the comments section.
Obviously. Okay, so one update that needs to be talked about is everybody was saying you need to take a paternity test, which I'm surprised that you didn't say that because I feel like
I barely
if
got
this,
into the baby side of it, but obviously, yeah. There's that's I had already rambled so much about everything else that like I didn't even get there.
but the baby is his, so we should say that.
Okay, well, that what it said did he say that?
Yes, he says, I took a paternity test and my son is
Okay.
confirmed to be mine. So that
Okay.
is a thing. Um,
Okay. Well, then yeah, that adds to the equation too.
this one's kind of a long comment from somebody on Reddit, but it has the highest amount of upvotes, so I do think it's always important to, say that one first. The only thing you and your soon-to-be ex-wife should be discussing is the care of your son. By engaging her, you are setting yourself up to be manipulated and trapped, just as you were trapped by this pregnancy. Sorry to have to say this, but you were really stupid to get yourself into that position. Ever heard of condoms? You knew this woman had been with other men, yet you had unprotected sex with her. That was stupid. So you're not to blame for those 7 years, and in fact, all the rest of your child's life. The fact that you would even ask whether you're the asshole for wanting to leave reveals your very real problem with logic and common sense. It is
Some
so
self-esteem
harsh.
issues there too. If yeah, we could be a little more empathetic there. Some self-esteem issues clearly at play too. But
Absolutely.
again, there is no like when I say there is no the, that's the cheeky way of also saying like there is no one who handled themselves well here.
No, everybody was messy and
It's a
like
whole triangle, whatever I don't even know what shape this is because it's not like there isn't a baby daddy in the picture, but it's just like the whole picture is like ever so many other people involved. It's like a triangle or a irregular quadrilateral. I'm terrible with the math terminologies, but it's
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 okay.
just it's irregular. That's the point of it's an isosceles triangle if it's a
Okay.
triangle of dysfunction. Woof.
Yeah, no, I mean I couldn't agree more. You know, with Am I the Asshole posts, it is okay to say like everyone sucks here. Like this is kind of one of those posts of just like don't fuck somebody that you're thinking you're going to divorce. Like that's just a solidly bad idea all the way through. Just not good. Especially when you guys were trying for a baby, then you know that she's probably not taking precautions. I'm guessing well, and they're in their 30s, so she's probably not wanting to be on birth control much longer in her life, just per like I don't know, I female ideology who. So that's like the top comment. But I feel like we're both pretty much done with this. And I'll just say it does seem he has served his wife with divorce papers. He's hired a lawyer. They're trying to agree on 50-50 for division of marital assets, child support, and limited alimony. So, I mean, I think we can kind of put this one to rest here and move on to uh our next story.
Yeah, let's
Okay,
do it.
so let me see. I'm gonna kind of do the same thing of like because I kind of like the idea of like a choose your own adventure, where like I give you titles, you pick which one you think sounds good. Okay. Am I the jerk for secretly investigating my sister after her husband accused her of cheating? So that's one. And then the kid had a meltdown this weekend and I'm done. I'm not going to be disrespected any longer. That one comes from r/regretful parenting, which is one of my biggest guilty pleasures on TikTok. Or I almost said TikTok because I'm actually TikTok coded,
You're
but Reddit.
your Reddit. You like watching your Reddits on TikTok. That sounds like
Love it.
something a grandpa would say.
We will eventually be on TikTok, but yes.
We are on TikTok.
Well, our Reddit stories, we will eventually
Oh,
be on TikTok with
well,
those.
we'll put those up on there. We can put clips of those up on there that we put up on YouTube and
There you
Spotify.
go. There you go. Okay, so which one?
I think I got
Terrible.
out the first one. First of all, I need to know what in the hell investigated my sister means. I don't love the sound of that.
Okay, okay, okay. Give me a second. Give me a second.
I don't. Yeah, that's what. First
What?
of all, like, okay, nobody likes to hear somebody that they know might be a cheater or whatever, but like, investigated your sister. Like,
Okay.
it doesn't sound good from like a technical standpoint of like that's a conflict of interest and seems kind of like petty. And also, can we use any other like phrase? Like,
Liked it. It seemed very I don't know. I just think it seems
it's just
harsh and too
nothing. It
much.
doesn't mean anything good. I can already tell you that.
Okay. So, am I the jerk for secretly investigating my sister after her husband accused her of cheating? And there's an update at the bottom. A few weeks ago, my brother-in-law, 26 male, we're going to call him Rob, came to me.
Cheat and rob.
And the poster, the original poster, some people call the original poster OP. You
Sure.
understand?
Yeah.
Okay. So OP is a 22 female, okay? And
Gotcha.
confessed that he thought my sister, Emily, who's 24 and obviously a female, was cheating on him. Okay? So we're getting how this is all working. For context, Rob and I are good friends. and talk regularly at family gatherings and events. He is an only child, but we've known each other long enough that he sees me as a sister. I've never known Emily to cheat on anyone.
Well, okay, that helps. That gives me some context here. This is another woman investigating her sister. Maybe I shouldn't have, but it sounded like something a dude would do, like for his brother, like
That's fair.
husband, like
Bro code.
it sounded like something a dude would say, yeah. Like,
Okay.
I'm sure there's going to be someone saying, like, why would you ever assume it would be a man talking initially? And I'm like, because that sounds like something a dude would do and say.
Because you
You
have a
know, like,
brother and you're a boy and you don't assume that everyone has sisters.
well, there you go. And I don't want to like I would investigate if I could, like if I thought a dude I knew was being cheated on by, or if my brother was being cheated on, but like
Yeah,
to it, if I had a sister, I would feel weird about like snooping on my sister, especially like
that's fair.
looking at her phone and stuff. Like that doesn't seem like
God
something
only knows.
an adult brother should be doing with an adult sister. You know what
I
I
would
mean?
agree. Yeah. Yeah. I would say so. Yeah, my brother and I certainly don't meddle in each other's business. Like I've tried to meddle and we see how that goes, so we
Also,
don't meddle.
well, and also just like that can only scar your brain too. It's not just about what's socially appropriate. It's about like, hey, that's not good for you, bro. Like, what if you see something that like really you didn't like that you really can't unsee?
True.
You know?
You can't put the monkey back in the bottle.
Yeah. Is that a
So,
never heard that one? Monkey in the bottle.
it's funny.
Yeah.
It's not meant to be normal, it's meant to be dumb, okay? Okay, okay. We got to go back on. We got to go back on.
We're never off.
Okay. Wow. All right. Never known Emily to cheat on anyone, let alone her husband of 5 years. So at first, I was skeptical of Rob's claim. However, Rob told me that Emily had been acting distant, reserved, etc., and would evade the topic whenever he asked about it. I asked Emily if she was feeling all right, and she said she was fine. I told Rob this. He asked if I could dig deeper to see if there was truly was something going on. This threw me off further, since it seemed he was just looking for dirt on Emily to justify something he'd done, so I told him to try to be more in talking with Emily. The next day, Emily calls me in tears and tells me Rob accused her of cheating, and she's devastated. She thought he accused her to hide his own cheating, so she made him give her his phone to go through and found nothing. It was at this point that I began to suspect something. At first, I had the same suspicion that my sister had, but if she didn't find anything, then what Rob said began to make more sense. Over the next week, I started paying more attention to where my sister was going. We both live on the main road of a small town, and she drives a very distinct vehicle. I started watching to see when she passed by each day, as well as asked Rob to see where she said she was going. After a few days, I saw Emily driving by when the gym she told Rob she was visiting was the opposite direction. She came back 2 hours later and clearly never visited the gym. At this point, I had reason to believe Emily did really cheat, and Rob seemed innocent. The next time I visited Emily, I asked if I could use her laptop to do some shopping, and she let me have it. Turns out she saved her passwords on everything there, so I could sign in as her. It took me 10 minutes to find some messages to a guy on Snapchat and agreeing to meet them, or meet up rather. The messages weren't really flirty and they hadn't shared any pictures, but she'd agreed to meet a man in secret, which was enough for Rob to confront her. Once again, I receive a call from my sister screaming at me that I violated her privacy and broke her trust, and what I found was just chatting with a coworker, not cheating. She accused me of trying to steal Rob and basically said I was a terrible person for trying to ruin her life. I don't know what all her and Rob have said to each other, but it can't be pretty either. Let me see. So we do have some updates because there's three more paragraphs that we can read, but we're gonna stop there and I'm just gonna check in, see what you're thinking. Should I go first?
Again, if we need to nominate one supreme asshole, it's definitely the sister. Not like, again, the sister of the author, I guess. The wife, or
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
The
or they're
24-year-old
engaged. Yeah, they're engaged, right? Or they're already married.
married for 5 years.
Okay. Yeah, the wife who's cheating, of course. But I guess the husband just
He
who
just
doesn't
thought that
what guy wouldn't want to have a good relationship with his in-laws, especially his siblings? Like, parents in-laws, you just want to, I mean, you can have a great relationship, but you'll take the get out of jail free card on that one as long as you all don't hate each other. But it'd be really cool to have a second, like a brother you never had until you were an adult, or a sister.
uh-huh.
Like, so I get that maybe like he just like has a good, maybe he trusts her more than his wife at this point. I don't know, but oof, like I don't like putting family in that position. Like it, I don't know. Like if you're gonna hire, well, it's not that, like he paid her, but if you're gonna enlist somebody to help you snoop on your spouse you suspect of cheating on you, like try to have it at least be somebody who's objective in this. Like
I would
she
agree.
seems to be trying to do her best here, but like this has got to just be like, you know what? I'll say even though he's the victim of the cheating, the dude's not entirely blameless here too, because you got to know that it's already going to be a punch in the gut for this sister who you supposedly like and trust when she finds out that like she might be losing you at least somewhat. Like it's not like you never can talk to her again, but the relationship wouldn't be the same, if this kills your marriage. And
Mhm.
also like now you're dragging her into this and like she has to see it. Like, come on, find somebody else to help you, dude.
Yeah, I really think this is a terrible case of meddling, and given everybody's age, this is very early 20s behavior on all persons'
Well, at least they
behalf.
are, because it's not like you don't
No
see that
shit.
from 40 somethings.
I would agree. I would agree. I've seen some very immature, full-blown
It does
grown-ups,
give
if you
the
will.
middle school gossip stuff though, like, hey, ask, hey, hey, Tiffany, ask Mary if Ashley cheated on Jack,
Oh my
because you
gosh.
won't believe what she'll tell you. Like,
Genuinely. Also, I'm sorry. You should even okay, it is so sly to ask your sister to use her laptop for shopping and you know that she's going to have all of her passwords saved on there. Don't be
you
like,
know what?
and it turns out she had a
I don't
password saved.
I hear you, but I have the least, or I'm sorry, I have the most sympathy for the sister in this position because she clearly likes her sister's husband a lot. Which again, like,
Okay,
isn't that again like wouldn't wouldn't again just put yourself in that position? Like, wouldn't it be awesome to have a sibling who gets married and they're one of your best friends? Like your sibling almost like doubled. Like so if you have a good relationship with your sibling and then they bring somebody else into the family who's awesome, that's like that creates like a complex bond. And now she's basically learning that she might be losing both of them in kind of one fell swoop in a certain way anyway. You know what I mean? Like I have the most sympathy for her. Like she's stuck between a rock and a hard place. She didn't do anything wrong initially, at least. Again, I get what you're saying, but God,
I just think, I mean, it's just so messy to me. It really, really is. And as much as I'm a meddler, I cannot pretend like I haven't meddled, uh, too close to the sun and gotten burnt, you know what I mean? Like, but you don't do this with your sister personally.
that's all I'm saying. It could be your best friend. This is the sort of
Mhm.
thing you get like your real buddy who like would go to bat for you. Even maybe he's a little crazy, maybe he's messy in his own relationships, but you all have been best friends since childhood or whatever. Like we all hopefully all have like that one or two special people. That's when you're like, bro, I need help. Like I think my wife is ruining my life and I need help. You know what I mean? Like I get that, but like don't ask her sister for God's sake.
No. Yeah. Okay, so this is gonna sound mean and maybe like anti-male, but this is a male doing an investigation. He's enlisting somebody else to do the work
You know
for
what?
him.
Yeah, you know what? I won't even disagree with you there. Exactly. Bro, if you don't want to ask somebody else for help or you don't really feel like you have, like, come on, don't be a puss. Like,
Figure it out.
prove it yourself. You're the one
Yes.
being disrespected. Like, you need to, also control yourself. Like, don't lose your mind because then you lose the high ground. But like,
Uh-huh.
come
No.
on.
One of my favorite comments, which is not the top comment, is Thanksgiving with your family is going to be just great this year.
If anybody invites me to a Thanksgiving after that was involved in that, I'm punching them in the face.
Come here, let me get.
I'll be like, here's your turkey. Like,
Yeah, no shit. It's just, oh my God. I do think the little sister, I don't know. I think the eldest sister could like not even sue, but like press charges against the little sister for like literally like looking into her accounts. Like, I don't know. Uh,
I don't
I
know about
mean,
hacking because it happened on her own device and she was dumb enough to give it to her, knowing
that's
she said
true.
had something to hide, but she's enough of a piece of work to try, clearly. Oh,
It's so fucked up. It's so fucked up. There's some
boy,
updates, and basically, Emily admits to meeting up with another man with the intention of having sex, but they didn't actually do it out of guilt or whatever. And so, I know. Rob thanked the younger sister, blah, 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 and that he'll
thank
be
you for your
staying away.
business.
Pretty much. Thank you for ruining your relationship with your sister. And I'm going to go stay with my family for a while.
Hey, now we both don't have her. Yay, thanks.
Yeah. Shortly afterward, Emily called me again, told me I've ruined her life and this whole situation is my fault. After reading some of the comments here, I think it's clear I crossed a line in getting involved in a relationship that isn't mine. But I fear that if I hadn't intervened, Emily might have continued to get away with it. She'd
I know.
keep the message. I know.
Why do you think
It
I have
sounded
the most
very.
sympathy? Why do you think I have the most sympathy for her, dude? Like, there is no good outcome here.
Yeah, no. Well,
I'm
and
not
I
because
guess.
I do feel like there's only two. Like, there is no like, what do you call it? Like, it's the. I think there's a specific term for it that I'm not remembering, but like, it's the fallacy of no action. Like,
Mhm.
there's only two possible actions there. There's meddle or stick your head in the sand.
Yeah. Well, and again, this is just something that a 22-year-old girl would get involved in because she's just like, I'm gonna do what's right.
Yeah. Well, and here I'll put it another way. This is like knowing that there's a bomb going off soon, and unless you're like a scientist or a bomb squad member, you can't really do much to stop the bomb from going off without blowing yourself up. So you have to make one of two painful choices, like try or hide, and like try to
Yeah.
stick your head in the sand until the bomb goes off, and then come out and clear up the wreckage. You know what I mean? Like,
No, I do. I do.
because again, like there's no outcome here that means okay, everything will be fine. The only thing that could do that is if the wife came clean.
Yeah, I mean, I think we cleared it all up here on this one. It's messy all around. You know, the little sister needs to grow up, and I hope she learns a lesson from this. And I mean, I hope I learn a lesson from this because I'm a meddler at heart, and that's why I chose this because I've meddled and I've meddled and I've meddled, and I feel like in my 29 years of age, I finally have learned to mostly stay out of other people's business. But
That's
sometimes you
what
just
I
want to.
would choose.
Sometimes you. I know you would. Nobody asked. I want to save people sometimes fight. Like, but you can't. Yeah, I mean,
You
when it
don't
comes to
save them though. You just get blown up with them.
literally, you do. You just step on the landmine. You're like, oh, shit.
As I say, you just start the. All she did was get the ball rolling faster. which I get
No
again.
shit.
Like she didn't do what she did probably wasn't helpful for the situation, but I don't know. The truth always finds its way out, dude.
The truth, what's done in the dark always comes to light, as my crazy client Sammy likes to say.
I hope she listens to this podcast.
She might.
You
She
should
might. We'll
play it.
see.
You should play it next time she comes over to get.
I start playing my own podcast for my clients. That'd be really funny. They're just like, oh, I'm like, yeah, it's so that I don't have to talk and I can just do my job.
You just listen to me talk about random stuff, reactions.
we have we have one that's like postpartum depression. Oh boy. We have that. Or I think maybe we should go potentially back to the one that's about the girlfriend and the guy not having sex for almost 5 years.
Okay. And how many were we doing? This is the third one. Is this the
This will
last
be
one?
the third one.
This the last one for this episode? Are we wrapping up with this one?
No, we've only been recording for 35 minutes, so maybe just two more.
Two more. Okay. Because
I think
I
two.
knew we were gonna kind of be flexible on the number and just kind of
True.
call it by ear. So
Yeah,
two more, you think? Well, unless this one takes like 15 minutes, because they
fine.
have.
Okay. Well, I think it's taking a good amount of time. I think we're doing
Yeah,
good.
yeah. No, I do too. I think three per is a good number too, though, because it keeps it's a good rhythm.
Okay. Well,
We'll see
yeah.
how this one goes.
Okay.
We could do a
Okay.
bonus one.
Ooh. Okay, sorry. I just looked at my saved in Reddit and I was like, ooh, but we could do that one too. But no, we're gonna do the sexless relationship because
Been a
I
very
liked this one. I thought that just,
this been a very marital drama themed open.
I felt like that might be good for you.
We will proceed.
Okay. My girlfriend and I have never had sex, and it's been almost five
Wait, hold
years.
on. Never? That's a
Have
key part of that.
I told you that when I first read this to you?
I remembered 5 years. I didn't remember it was a never. I thought it was like an since then.
Maybe I said it like we haven't had sex in 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I must have said it all bad. But yeah, they've never had sex and they've been together for 5 years. Am I the asshole? And I know you're going to be like, nope, dumper. Next. Oh, shit.
There's a
Okay, okay.
difference between what I would do and what I say.
Mm. True. Yes. I mean, never. Me, 27 male, and my girlfriend, 26 female, have been together for almost 5 years. When the relationship started, I assumed she was being flirty and building the temptation. We were having so much fun going on dates, and I was just excited for the time to come, and it still hasn't come, so to speak. LOL. Which he didn't write it like CUM, but I am thinking CUM. It's COME. But we're going to move on. I've tried to talk to her. I have brought this up hundreds of times, which when I read that the first time, I was just like, oh God. I know it's been 5 years, so I'm sure he's not exaggerating,
What's the
but
average there? So that's like, okay, so 5 years.
5 years,
We'll just say 5 years.
hundreds.
So hundreds. So let's just say conservatively 200. Um, so that's 40 times a year. So that's about once every 10 days.
Okay.
He ha
Every
he
time,
has it scheduled for every like Monday
as a
this week,
reminder,
Monday with this week, Thursday next week.
every time I gently start the conversation, she starts crying and says she feels guilty and she gets
I
angry at me
gently
for
start the
always,
conversation.
she cried at me for always bringing it up because it's every 10 days. I get it. I mean, it's fair. At the start, she said she has, and now I should have looked up how to say this before we started, and I do apologize. Vaginismus. I've heard of this before. Let me just say that. And they did talk about that on that stupid show that I just started watching called Virgins, which is on HBO Max, and it is actually
Is
really good.
isthmus the medical term for emptiness?
I don't. Let me look it up.
I'm
We can.
obviously joking, but
Are you? Oh shit! What an idiot! I'm like, let me look that up. Isthmus
have
meaning denote a condition or state often related to spasms or contractions. Well, anyway,
in the vagina.
Okay, good job. You know what? I forget that you're multiple times college educated. Every time okay, wait, we got to go back. She
I
says
gently
she has
start the conversation.
gently. I
That's all he
gently
gets to gently start.
At the start she said she has vaginismus.
Jesus.
She has seen a specialist about this once because I asked her to, and has the tools for exercises that they use to fix it. They have been sitting in her bedside drawer ever since. I'm not blaming her for having vaginismus. And I'm sure that is a horrible experience, but sitting here for 5 years waiting doesn't feel fair. The last time I brought it up, she said 10 days ago, 9 days ago, she said
Yeah,
she
he can't write this and have his reminder on the same day.
No, 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 no. She has just never had the drive to have sex, and it's not something she's ever wanted, but it's something that I want. I've asked her to go to the doctor to get her hormone levels checked, which she did. She went off birth control about 3 months ago, and absolutely nothing has changed. It makes it hard for me, though.
She went off birth control 3 months ago, and now you're deciding to push the issue even harder. That's a bold move, Con.
I know, yes, it is a bold move, Cotton. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, okay, I understand that birth control certainly affects your hormones and can make it hard to do a lot of different things like
Oh, I'm not
breathe,
saying she should or
live.
shouldn't have done that. That's for the doctors to decide. I'm just saying this is the interesting timing, my friend. You
I know
clearly are interested.
he's
Well,
so willing to have sex, he's willing to do it with a condom. I'm assuming, I would
I
assume, my
mean, that's
God.
fair, but
If you think penetration hurts, try having a baby.
well, that too.
That's my other thing. I'm like, go off birth control while you guys try to have sex. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It makes it hard for me though, because it seems sorry, I'm continuing reading the story because it's still going.
I I was just saying like that was an interesting. Anyway,
I thought so too. This makes it hard for me though, because it seems like she's starting to put in some kind of effort. Like hard to like decide whether to stay with her or to like break up or
well,
whatever. Anyway,
at least it's something.
something's hard.
Well, and at least she's putting in effort.
Sorry, that's what you're talking about.
All right, I'm gonna be doing this every sentence, so let's not do that anymore.
Okay, 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 okay. She is beautiful and smart, and she has a good job. We live together, and her family loves me. We do everything together. I miss her when she's not around. I just don't know if I can live like this. I've already spent 5 years in my 20s in a sexless relationship. I have been hoping that she would just have some sort of awakening or breakthrough or become a sexual person. She has recently been bringing up engagements, feeling annoyed that her friends who have been together for less time than us are getting engaged and I haven't asked her. I can't see myself proposing and trapping myself in a life where I never have sex again. Am I the asshole for building up resentment towards her and expecting her to change after all this time? What do I do?
Well, you know what? It's funny that because if that's the question he's asking, the answer is yes. Are you an asshole for not wanting to be in a sexless relationship your entire life?
Mm-mm.
No. Are you an
No.
asshole for letting it drag on for 5 years and just assuming something would change and now having resentment? Kinda.
Yeah. No, I agree with you wholeheartedly. The way he has phrased his "Am I the asshole?" you know,
Actually,
kind of
yeah, kinda.
because you can't have I mean, like it's the same behavior over and over. You know what to expect, and
It
now
doesn't
you're mad
take
about it.
5 years.
It shouldn't. No. Um, and again, like
Again, now,
women's
if she said she was saving herself for marriage or something, then
totally different.
that's a value system that you may or
Mm,
may not share. But again,
right.
it would be the same answer though, honestly. You don't get to have resentment for that either if you guys aren't compatible. Like again, like why does it always come back to in relationships with dudes, it's like, dude, handle this problem yourself. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, well, and I think this just comes back to not necessarily the male loneliness epidemic, but like the am a man and I don't know how to communicate issue. Like,
yeah, come on.
you
It
know,
doesn't
you
take 5 years to know the answer.
as much as it's a hard conversation, you don't want to upset the person that you love so much. Hard conversation. Guh. Um, now I mean, truly, you have to sit down and tell them, listen, I love you. I think you're beautiful. I think you're a great person. I wish there, I want our relationship to have a different dynamic than what we have had. I've been patient and we have to have some progress if we're going to see this relationship through to an actual marriage. And the fact of the matter is,
And I want
I
to
am
connect at a deeper level.
very deep. Um, I am not an asexual person, which is what the comments get into. Like the top comment, 12K upvotes, she should date an asexual and you should date someone who's not asexual. And I mean, way to put it in two sentences. You know what I mean? Like, I think that was your fear for this podcast is like, it's just going to be cut and dry. But that's the real answer there. It's just like if
I
she actually
remember
thinks,
seeing a comment online one time that said, if someone's asexual, you can't expect them to be sexual.
yeah, funny,
And it's
silly,
yeah, it's like a he, but yeah. And again,
but
like
true.
now it's on her to declare that. She's like,
100.
I'm not saying she's innocent in this, but like but I mean, come on, dude.
Apparent she's got some exploring intersexuality to do for sure. Or, I mean, maybe there's no exploring needed, and that's also fine. But neither of them are communicating well about this. And the fact that he has been able to go 5 years without having sex, like, just shows exactly
There's a choice there,
how passive of a person he truly is.
but being passive is a choice.
It is. No, I agree. I agree. Like he has to essentially shit or get off the pot, like just tell her like, we're not I think there's a million ways to go about this, whether it's like go see a sex therapist together, a pelvic floor therapist, help her use her toys or and I don't want to call them toys, but because they're actual like devices, but essentially like when somebody has vaginismus, they get themselves these like dilator tools, if you will, and they're just like and they just like insert them and try to relax and whatever. I wouldn't know. I've never had this. But I mean, technically, like I said, I did watch the show Virgins, and a girl does have this. She like, she didn't actually cry putting them in, but she acted very.
Virginismus.
She like had a full blown conniption fit using the first one, and it's literally like the width of a pinky, the diameter of a pinky, you know?
That being the finger,
Right,
the
the
pinky
pinky
finger.
finger. Yes, 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 yes.
You're using the correct terminology, not slang. That's what we mean.
Obviously, I would never use slang.
No.
No, it's not me. And then yeah, I mean, they get up to the thickness of like, an average male member, if you will. I mean, I just think there's a million ways that if she actually wants to have sex, that we could approach the subject. But I think they're both too scared, and I don't know what for. It makes me wonder what kind of like sexual background this guy has. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Same. Just like I don't know how many relationships has he been in because he's 27 male. They've been together for 5 years. So he got together with her when they were
They
like
were in
when
their
she was
early
22.
20s. Like they had
And
just started
so
drinking.
exactly. And so I don't know. It just now I
And
don't
apparently that didn't help.
see any updates from this dude, like in the comments or on the post. So that's kind of disappointing. And it was posted 2 days ago, but I mean, maybe there just isn't anything to update. I'm sure he still hasn't talked to her about it. But yeah, I mean, they're going to have to either go to some real like sex therapy or they're going to have to split apart. Or, I mean, you know, not that
Just
I
therapy in general.
well, yeah, absolutely, of how to talk to each other, let alone just, yeah, sex therapy. I mean, it makes me wonder what the other aspects of their relationship are like. Like, he says they have fun and they go on dates and they enjoy each other and they miss each other.
I
So
mean,
there's
yeah, there's
obviously
something.
chemistry. There's chemistry there. It's just, I mean, I don't, I just, as a sexual being, I don't get it. I just don't get it. But, I don't think he's necessarily an asshole or the asshole. But, I mean, having resentment towards your partner is
There's
never.
something, yeah, yeah. And there's something to be said for self-awareness there that he sort of like self-identifies where he could be better, where he did go wrong a little bit.
Absolutely.
I think we should wrap it up with this. What do you?
Baby,
It's
baby,
just too perfect.
we could do one more and we'd be ending at like right at like an hour.
All right.
Oh my
Is
God,
this
I
a
love
theme
you.
of this podcast? You like pressuring me to keep going already?
Yes, because it's literally only an hour. Like, and whenever I
That's
listen
the
to,
absolute max for a good podcast, in my opinion. There's plenty that go
okay,
longer, but
meanwhile, I have listened to 2 and 4 hour podcasts, but whatever.
that just sounds like 2 to 4 episodes to me. Why not have those as separate episodes? But I'm an old-fashioned, I'm a sports talk radio guy, and we do kind of have to follow time limits, so that's where I get it from.
Yeah, because then people start snoozing when it's too much sports talk, but these are juice. I like juice. Okay, so I'm going to end with the one that I want because I've given you plenty of choices and now it's
Yeah,
my time. I'm going to go to the one that is from Regretful Parenting, my
boy.
guiltiest of pleasures. Oh my God. Even if you give your baby away, it can still ruin your life, which is actually not what we're going to read. But that is one of the ones that I have saved for our next podcast. Okay. So this is a year ago. The account has since been deleted. The person that made
Delete your
this,
account.
they did say that this is a throwaway account. So they made this account specifically just to post this.
This.
Yes. Yeah, literally just this. Okay. So the kid had a meltdown this weekend, and I'm done. I'm not going to be disrespected any longer. Now, when I read that title and when I read this, I was just like, somebody might be emotionally immature. Okay. My 12-year-old daughter had a meltdown this weekend over an iPhone. My ex-wife and I agreed that we would get her a Gab phone. It's a phone for kids and teens, no internet, no social media. This summer, provided she did well, and it showed that she was responsible enough. I went to pick her up this past Friday, and when I got there, I saw that my ex in laws had bought her an iPhone. My ex goes, Mom and Dad wanted to surprise her since she did so well. My ex in laws have always tried to undermine our parenting. Especially my ex mother in law. My ex wife tried to downplay it, and it was one of those reasons we divorced 6 years ago. I say she's giving it back. You and I agreed that we would get the Gab cell phone when she got a cell phone. I looked at my ex mother in law and tell her the phone is going back, and before you say anything, it's not about the money. Her mother and I had already planned what type of phone she would have. You're going to take the phone back because you had no business buying it for her. So the mother in law goes over to her and says, Sorry, honey, but your dad said you can't have it. The tears start first, and then the meltdown. And no, she's not on the spectrum. She yells at me. I hate you. You ruined everything. I hate going over your house. I hate you. I wish Tom, her stepdad since she was 6, was my dad. I hate you. I wish you would disappear. Something just broke in me. I thought about all the money I spent in the custody battle, all the time I spent going to recitals, going to parent teacher meetings because she was being a mean girl, all the crap I had to put up with in from my ex in-laws, always trying to undermine me. My ex-wife agreeing to something with me and then or her folks, making me look like the bad guy. Just all the downright disrespect and being made to feel terrible because I tried to set rules and boundaries. The feeling of always drowning and being overwhelmed by parenting, I was just so sick of parenting this little mean girl. Her grandma comforts her, and her mom tells her, Apologize to your dad. I tell her, No, don't. And don't make her apologize because I want to know if she truly feels that way. I look in her eyes and ask her, "Do you really feel that way? Just tell me the truth." She looks at me and tells me in the eyes and says, "Yes, I hate you, and yes, I wish Tom was my dad." And she meant it. I tell them, fine, she can keep the phone because I'm just done. She doesn't want to come over anymore, fine. Tom wants to adopt her, tell him to drop the papers and I'll sign them. You're going to get your wish, kiddo. I'm going to disappear. I'll pack up your room and your things at my place and I'll drop everything off this weekend. And I did just that. When I got home, I packed up all her stuff, dropped it off at her mom's front door early Saturday morning, got dozens of texts and calls from my ex wanting to talk the past few days, but I didn't respond. I was offered an assistant director job with an international division of my company a few weeks ago. Even though it was a huge promotion, a huge pay increase, I turned it down because of the extensive travel requirements and the possible relocation overseas. First thing this morning, I went to my boss and told him if the position was still open, I wanted it. By lunch, I was in a Zoom meeting with the VP of International and the department head of International. Before I left this evening, I was in HR filling out paperwork. I officially start the job in 3 weeks. I know I'm going to have to talk with my ex and the kid eventually, but I meant what I said. I'm done. If her stepdad wants to adopt her, he can. If not, that's fine. Well, I'll simply be a monthly check. I may update this. I'm just done being disrespected. I thought that one was
Boy,
intense. It's intense.
yeah.
It's crazy. It's so fucked
The
up.
thing,
Like,
it's also so tough because the dynamic of this changes so much. If he clearly is a deadbeat, he's clearly not. And like, I don't think it's
right.
fair for him to take so much out on the kid. But
No,
when your
I agree.
whole like form or whatever extended family is dragging you down like that, and the kid that's old enough to at least like think for itself and make her own decisions is actively choosing that, like, and it's like, again, when you actually have a lot going for you, like, it's really hard to feel that this guy is like he's choosing things that are good for him over things that aren't. As much as like, I'm not saying the kid is necessarily automatically bad for him, but like the whole dynamics, he's choosing to invest in the things that he's good at and that are, productive in his life. That's the first thing I hear in this, because that changes so much if he's just like, now I can spend more money on my Xbox games. But this dude
Right.
has a lot going for him and doesn't want to lose. He could lose his career if he focuses too much in on this toxicity.
Oh my God, absolutely. And I mean,
How lucky was he that that job was still even open 3 weeks
no
later
sh
or whatever?
no shit, dude, no shit. I'm sure he's like, if they
And they
offered it to
clearly
him,
probably held it open for him to an extent too at that point. So, like,
I mean, the hard thing is like I've been that little girl. I think everyone's been a brat to their parents before, you know what I mean? And like little kids are just so obviously not emotionally developed, especially, I mean, she's not even 14 yet. Like her brain is really just, like gummy bears at this point. Not a lot going on. And I mean, she clearly doesn't understand the weight of her words.
and obviously doesn't understand the reasons behind why you would have these boundaries and rules either.
My God. Yeah, no, absolutely. I would agree with the parents' original decision of not getting her an iPhone because I think that is the major issue. And, we also need to circle back to the part where he talks about how he's had to be in the principal's office talking to, administration about her being a mean girl, which when I hear that, it's not just like she is like maybe disrespectful to teachers, which I think is also not necessarily okay, not in every situation. If the teacher's an asshole, I
She
mean,
acts like
whatever.
this. She acts like this all the time.
She's being mean to other girls, other kids, other students, her peers, whatever.
Sure.
And
Yeah, yeah.
and so if we give her a phone
But
that
this
has
behavior is
access to
in
the
keeping with her.
if we give her a phone that has access to social media, she's has the potential to be online bullying people. She's probably not mature enough to have access to social media.
Right. There's the risks that she faces and could be, yeah, the risks that she poses that she
Yeah,
brings.
just
Because
because you're a good student does not mean that you deserve an iPhone. It actually means kind of the opposite. Like, if you're a good student, what does having the distraction of a cell phone bring? Because I know I spent way too much time on my phone and not writing my Hamlet paper like I should have been in senior year. I'm
I don't know.
serious.
I don't know that either of those things contribute a ton to you being a successful adult in and of themselves, but yeah,
That's fair. But I'm not right. I'm not saying that. I mean, I can still be a fully functioning adult. I'm just saying I could have been a better student.
sure. We all probably could have been.
I love that. But yeah, no, like that's the main crux of this issue, I would say, is just like she well, I shouldn't say main crux, but like, I get where her parents are coming from, and I would be frustrated if I were her parent too, because it's just like we agreed on one thing, why are we doing the other thing?
Yeah. And the in-laws undermining, I mean, that's fatal. That is fatal for marriage. And that gets back to what I was saying about the dad too, is it's like, again, like, and he even while he was in the full blown, like, I'm getting out of here and moving up stage, he made sure to say he still intended to check in with his kid at least at times. There's got to be more work done there. But like, also, again, this killed their marriage a long time ago. And so it's not like he's walking away from his marriage to take this job. That already is gone. So like,
Right.
again, if he loses his career over this, what does he have? Like, he doesn't still have a marriage. He has a kid that he's at odds with because of their in-laws that aren't even his technical in-laws anymore. But like, again, he's not going to be able to get those people entirely out of his life, which isn't even the goal. But it's just like, why? What other choice does he have but to pursue again what's productive in his life?
Right. No, I mean, I agree. And maybe the kid will be better off just getting a check than having a dad that's wholly disinterested at this point in raising her.
Yeah,
I mean, I think he made an effort. I do think it is on the parents' part to continuously make that effort to have a relationship with their child because they are the grown up in the situation. But I mean, sometimes absence makes the heart grow fonder.
well, yeah, as I say, he can be a better parent for putting his efforts into, like, he's trying to do things that at least, like, him being successful in his career, you would hope should maybe help him grow personally. It certainly makes him able to provide better. Like,
Mhm.
that's the only thing he can control right now that could lead to a pot that
No, I agree. I mean, I don't know. I do still think he's a bit emotionally immature to react so heavily on the kid.
for sure.
I think, this could have been done away from the kid, only with the, ex-wife and the ex-in-laws, if you will. But I mean,
Doesn't
I
mean the
also
kid won't blow up at you, but at least then you don't have to do the whole fallout right there. So,
right, right, right. It was very dramatic. I imagined this in public. I don't know why.
yeah,
Like,
oh God, in the school parking lot,
okay, it's giving that for
it
me
is.
personally. That's how I'm imagining it happening. Like, it's the last day of school, grandparents show up, they're like, "Oh my God, you did so good. Here's your fucking iPhone." And
Hey,
then
guess
she's
what?
just,
You know what? Good thing he's moving internationally because people are gonna remember he was the dude that did that for a little while. So,
yeah, he won't be at parent teacher conferences next year, so
woo,
don't worry.
no.
Oh God.
Okay,
Yeah.
so again, in a different way, we should wrap it up
Yes,
here. Like
yes, yes. I agree. I agree. We've hit an hour. We've satisfied my need for drama. So you do your thing.
all right, folks, that is gonna do it for this inaugural episode of the Calling It How I See It reactions. Honestly, that one went even more off the rails than I think I was expecting, but it's a preview of what's to come, and I will leave it right there. Make sure you like and follow the YouTube channel, the Spotify, and find me on Twitter at BT Sportsman as well. And remember, Serena helps us produce the sports podcast that you hear already on my channels too. So make sure to find her on Facebook and give her a shout out as well on Instagram and all those other social medias. So we appreciate you and stay tuned to the Calling It How I See It Reactions podcast.
Bye, guys.